Peace, peace.
Hey, it's your girl Love or more. Call me what you want. Do not call me for front.
And it's Cool Joe Elevation. Peace to everybody. This is the Black and Spiritual AF podcast. And we're just happy to be here.
Absolutely. Hey y'all.
So there's a few things that we wanted to kind of touch on in this episode. So a lot of people, I've been seeing a lot of things, right? I've been seeing a lot of talk, a lot of conversations in regards to people that are confused about spirituality, people that want to start their journey but don't know if it's good or not.
Mhm.
You know, they've been told so many different things. We've had issues with people we know who, you know, say really hurtful things because their pastor told them something that's just, they be hating. Like, real talk, people are leaving the church and it seems like
It's for the same reason. Everybody's doing it for the same reason.
exactly.
Or a similar reason.
And they're trying to bring down people who are more spiritual, whether it be African spirituality, metaphysics, New Age spiritualism, but people who don't necessarily feel like the Bible is the end all be all, right?
Yep.
And
not the Bible, but religion in general.
Religion in general, true, because it's different types of religious doctrine.
Yep.
But I wanted to retouch on that because we've had this conversation before. That's what we do.
We've discussed this before. Y'all remember, if you go back to the very beginning, we say what? First things first is ancestor work.
Ancestor work. So we were having a conversation earlier, and it kind of sparked the fact that we need to dig deep into this, and a lot of emotion came out. Because it was somebody in here last week. We're at the safe house right now. It was somebody in here last week, and they were brought in by somebody who has been a loyal, I shouldn't say loyal, who has been a great customer, who's came here multiple times, had readings, is a part of the family, right? Yep. And a very nice young lady, and she brought her best friend in because she felt like her best friend needed some help, needed a little bit of guidance. So she's like, I want to get her some amethyst. And I'm like, okay. She like, you tell her a little bit about it. So I told her a little bit about amethyst, some of the properties of it, how it helps you connect with your higher self, you know, the different things. And she found a really nice necklace that she said she liked it. And then like the energy just shifted, and she I don't know what happened, but I started telling her, you know, okay, no, her friend asked her tell her how she cleanses it. So I'm like, you can cleanse it using selenite. You can charge it in the full moon, all these different things. And then her friend got this weird energy about her. Like, are you okay? She's like, yeah, I don't like you in here. Like, what do you mean? Everybody likes it here. I've never heard that before.
She said that after you lit the sage. Red flag.
She said that after the sage was lit. That's true.
He upset the demons in her.
She said that after the sage was lit. But then, you know, she basically ran up out of here. And I felt some type of way about it, but I didn't take it too harshly because I know, you know what I'm saying, what's going on. So what's your take? What's your take on how people look at traditional, let's just talk about traditional African spirituality. Let's talk about that.
So from my understanding, based on the things I've been told, based on the things that I've heard, people think it's demonic. They're like, you guys are worshiping demons. It's devil worship. It's all of this crazy shit that it ain't.
Right.
And it's kind of disheartening. Being who I am, I can see people for who they are. I can see things from all angles. So I can see my place in it, your place in it. I can see the situation from any side. And I'm able to relate to all sides because I can see where you're coming from at all times. That doesn't mean I agree with you. But it's like, what it say? They made us hate ourselves and love their wealth.
They made us hate ourselves and love their wealth.
It's like, I've heard so many negative things about things that people are doing anyway. Like just thinking about the small things.
We can get into it.
I'm ready to get into it because we don't have a lot of time here. I gotta finish this.
Right, we got a tarot class.
I got a class in a little bit. My students are already arriving. So
it's the final day for
the certification class, so. Day. Hey, yes. My babies are graduating and I'm so proud of them. So shout out to them. Y'all know who y'all are. I'm not gonna put y'all on the spotlight, but shout out to y'all. I'm proud of y'all. But yeah, so let me rewind. So first thing first, right? Ancestor work. I've seen a lot of people walking around here with lack of self-love, lack of understanding of themselves, lack of, and it's us. Like this is the Black and Spiritual AF podcast. I'm referring to us, Black and brown people. And it's like, it's so much self-love that's not happening. Somebody asked, like, why do y'all feel like relationships aren't lasting anymore? The answer is simple. It's a lack of self-love. Yeah. In order to get to shadow work, because shadow work is in alignment with this too. In order to get there, in order to know yourself, you must heal those wounds of your ancestors. So it's like our ancestors went through a lot of shit. They went through a lot of whitewashing. They went through a lot of control. Like they went through a lot of pain to get.
Just being us being here, we are the descendants of the survivors, right?
That part.
We are the descendants of the ones who survived.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So many people were lost in the Middle Passage. So many, it's a book called We Were Born on the Water. And it's like a kid's book, but at the same time it's heavy because it's talking about how we as Black people in America are the descendants of the people who made it. The people who made it over here, and so many didn't. And that's just the beginning. That's the beginning of us. That's why I say we were born on the water, because we're not African. We're African American, if you want to use that term, but we're not African because we're not from Africa. Now we're African people, but so we all are. Yeah. Shit.
We all, like, everybody comes from Africa. That's the cradle of civilization. That's where it all began. Like everybody has African descent. That's why people be like, "Oh, I got this 1% African."
Right.
Like,
making stupid ass TikToks.
Whatever. I'm not going there anyway.
I can say nigger now.
It's like this brings me I'm so passionate about it because I've literally have dealt with ridicule. I've dealt with all sorts of things due to my spiritual beliefs, but they're coming back from me venerating my ancestors, and it's could be family half the time. Oh, that's demons. I see them posting. I see them talking shit. But you pouring out liquor for your people. Like you're pouring out liquor. That's venerating your ancestors, right? This in my own family. You're leaving plates with pictures next to it. That's your ancestors. That's what we're doing. But we're doing it on a daily basis because where would we be without them? Like in order to heal ourselves, we must heal them first. We help them to heal. We venerate them. Like we don't need them stuck there walking in circles, just feeling lost and confused. Like what if they forgot about you once you pass away? Like that shit's heavy. It's like, remember where you come from. They took that away from us so that we would not walk into our power. And we must walk in our power. And I'm not anti-religion. I believe there is truth in every single religion. There is truth in every religion, but with that truth come lies, comes a control aspect. It's like in order to know God, you must know yourself. Like God created us in God's image, right?
And God lives within us. We are God's. And me saying that, some people might feel like that's sacrilegious, but it says God is within us. The book says, all of the books say God is, I can't say all the books, I read all the books, but I know what it's saying. The Bible says God is within us. And I was reading the Quran earlier. I read a lot of pages of the Quran. And same story that's in the Bible. You know what I mean? So when it comes down to it, no, we're not demonic. No, we don't worship the devil. I don't really fuck with the devil like that, man. The devil be bringing chaos and nonsense.
We're not being confused. We're not being tricked. We're not doing any of that. we are literally working with our people to heal them so that we heal ourselves. Okay.
And these are our traditions anyway. Like you said, leaving out the water, pouring libations.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, these are our traditions to call on our ancestors in our time, in the times where we feel like we need strength. You know what I'm saying? It's all of the Disney movies.
Man, your boy passed away. You leave some liquor out for him or something like that. Like, it's nothing demonic about that. It's comfort with that. Like, just think about it. Like, how many times you've dreamed of your grandmother, right? How many times have you dreamed of your auntie who passed? Like, them ain't fucking dreams, baby. Them visitations. Pay attention to what they're telling you.
Pay attention.
It's like, okay, let's get to it, right? Because we can't be on here all day yelling about how this ain't demonic, but it's not demonic, okay? We're not worshiping demons. We're not building altars for demons. We're doing this for our people, for the loved ones, the ones we leave a plate out for at the wedding, the ones that we have a little table for with their pictures on, T-shirts with their pictures on, things like that at the different family gatherings. Like, that's all this is.
The ones we celebrate their birthday every year because they're important to us.
Because they left us a legacy. They left us things that help us get through to the next phase. Like,
so we're talking about it because ancestor veneration is one of the first steps, right?
Yep.
Having the altar for your ancestors. That's one of the first steps in healing yourself so that you can better know yourself, so you can better love yourself.
Yep.
Right? So what's the next steps?
So I want to say this part. I know that before I started venerating my ancestors, I was going through something that if I'm not mistaken, all Black people go through, right? Something called seasonal depression, right? Where as soon as the winter came, I got sad, I got clammy, I'm not getting out the bed, I don't want to go outside. Like, it just felt heavy. And then after I started venerating them, they'll give me little tips and tricks and shit like, hey, baby, take some vitamin D. You know what I mean? Do this, do that, right? It gave me a reason. It gave me a purpose to keep going. It took me out of that sadness. It took me out of my own feelings and out of that shit. So I know in the first episode, we go over how to put the altar together.
Altar never falter.
Altar never falter. We go over how to put it together. So right now we're about to do a really quick tutorial on it again. First of all, you need nothing. You don't have to have anything to put a fucking altar together. Legit. All you need to have is yourself. Because if you think about it, back in the day, they didn't have anything.
Yeah.
Like, they were doing stuff in secret. Let Master walk up and see all this shit out. What's gonna happen? You can get your ass whooped.
Hide a couple seeds in their hair, bring it back to the cabin. You know, have a little bit left over. Leave it out for the ancestors. But that's based on African tradition.
That part.
You know, but we do have altar kits that you can buy on the website, spiritualafmetaphysical.com.
Absolutely. And if you want to actually have a place, things I would recommend having a specific day in mind, because once you call them for it to let them know you're venerating them, they're going to look forward to that. They're going to be like a kid in the candy store. Never, ever, ever knock on your auntie's door after not seeing her ass in 15 years with your fucking hand out. That is word in the physical and in the spiritual, all right? So don't go to no auntie them talking about some, hey, I know this is my first day doing this. Can I get? Hell no. She gonna smack you upside the head like she did when she was alive.
Right. Somebody ain't talked to in 20 years, send you a request on Cash App.
Can I have, like, what? You don't even say hi to me. Do I know you? So first you want to make sure that you're just giving, showing respect to them, giving honor, giving love. So candles help, right? The flame, you want to do the elements. So earth, wind, fire, water. Wind is air. So yes. So this is not my ancestor altar, but it is a good representation of what an altar should have. So I have my air, which is my incense, my fire, which is my candles. I got 2 of them. You don't need 2. But water, I got my earth twice, which is my plants, and my crystals. Crystals are earth. They come from the earth.
Oh, sure.
I got some salt up there. I got some copper up there. I got some different tools that I use. This is my office altar that I use just for getting the good energy inside of him.
Mm-hmm.
Never show your altars to people, right? I'm doing this for y'all because after I'm done recording this, I'm gonna do something else with it. It's as simple as that.
Don't put it on. You don't have to put it on the internet. Like, I know we do a lot of things for the gram, for TikTok.
Right. Cut that shit out.
It's not really recommended behavior. Again, we're not preaching with religion. You know, it's not, can't do this, but like she said, it's a sacred practice and it's something that's personal. It's personal to you and to your ancestors. So, you know, it's a respect thing.
It is. And it's like people can use that. People can use that to get at you. As soon as you take a picture, then that's when they start sending negative shit your way. And that's not okay. So make sure that you are not showing your altars. Some people ask me, questions I get is like, what if I'm sharing a space with somebody who don't believe in this? It's okay to just have like a candle and a water and use that for the moment. It don't have to be anything elaborate, but the more you do it and the bigger it gets, the more you realize how beneficial it is for you, and you'll keep growing with it.
And I want to touch on something else that we were discussing earlier. Going to the nail salon, right, with the Koreans or whoever, Vietnamese, whoever, walk in the door.
What you see when you walk in?
What you see?
They fucking altar. They be having fruit. They be having their drinks. They be having their little statues and everything right at the door.
No shame.
Right at the door to allow it in. To allow it in. It's like you could go to anybody except Black people and ask them about how they spiritual practice, how they venerate their ancestors and things like that. It's okay. With Black people, it's like, no.
And a lot of them still be Christian.
That part.
But it's something that is part of their heritage, right? Your religion ain't your heritage. You know what I mean? That's the thing. Your religion is not your heritage. Your religion, Christianity was forced on Black folks. It was forced on us, and we held on to it, but then we flipped it. You know, and that's a whole nother thing that's for another episode maybe. But just like you said, any other culture, you know, they talk about it. They talk about how they venerate their ancestors, how they raise them. Veneration is raising them up, right? Veneration is essentially showing respect and admiration for the people who were here that are related to you before you. So it's a thing, you know what I mean? And there's nothing wrong with it.
Nope.
It's something that we do anyway.
That part. And you don't have to be like we're spiritual. Like you don't have to be just spiritual in order to do this. You can be Christian, you can be Hindu, you can be whatever you want to be. Like this is not a closed thing. Like this is simply paying respect to your people. So when you want to start building it up, a white cloth works, right? So you can put a cloth on the table. You can use a fucking shoebox, bro.
Why white?
White is cleansing. White is protection. White is healing. White is love. White is dope. So you can put the white altar cloth on your table. Ask your people where they want to be. They always gonna tell you. You always gonna feel a certain type of way. You always gonna want things that you don't necessarily want. Bring it to them, right? But this is after you've been doing it for a while. And I feel like I'll go into it way deeper in that first episode. But it's like
the Black and Spiritual AF podcast, available on Spotify and all other podcast platforms. Apple Podcasts,
iHeartRadio, Stitcher,
all of them.
Castbox, all that. Anyway, like for instance, putting my altar together, I literally had just this little makeshift thing that wasn't a big deal. And then it expanded from that. It moved from different rooms in the house until now. These motherfuckers checking you at the door, baby. Like I've literally seen people come up to my door on camera and turn the fuck around because they cannot get in. I've seen people at my door and say, I can't come in. You're right, you can't come in because my people sense your spirit and won't allow you in my house. It's like it went from this little thing to an entire room. And they love it. They love it. They ensure that our bills are paid. They ensure that everything is going the way we need it to go because they love their space so much that we've created for them. I've had family come over like, hey, let me come on, say what's up to grandma real quick. But they won't do it in their own house. Like, it's crazy. Like, it's crazy. It's all demonic and witchcraft until you in the presence of it, right? then you see what it is. It's nothing satanic. I don't have anything except what my ancestors would approve of. Like, my ancestors were Christian, so I got crosses, I got Bibles, I got all sorts of religious things that they would have used, things that they've told me to put on there. I know I'm a medium, so I might be able to hear them more than the normal person could hear them. But if you listen and pay attention, you're able to.
Sometimes they might want coffee. Sometimes they might want some tobacco.
Yep.
Sometimes they might want, Colt 45. But paying respect. And once again, it goes back to what we're trying to do with this is spread awareness and let people know it's not anything demonic. We're trying to undemonize ancestor veneration.
We have to,
because it's important. We're trying to raise the vibrations, and us as a people, and I'm talking specifically about Black people in America right now, us as a people are so divided, so jaded. We got battles of the sexes going on. We got Christianity versus everybody else. And I be seeing y'all folks on TikTok and Instagram really throwing shade. Like, y'all
real
hating so hard when ain't nobody do nothing to you.
That part, you say
nothing
anything.
To you.
You say anything.
Stop judging.
You say anything, and it's you going to hell. Like, only God can judge me.
Right.
And if I'm going to hell, you going with me, baby, because only God can judge me. Like, that's plain and simple. And the fact that everything, if you meet a spiritual person, they're not negative. They're not negative. They're not judging you for the things you do. And every Christian who has come across my way has been just, oh, this is, I've literally had, I'm a ordained minister, by the way, Reverend Harvey, call me what you want, don't call me But I've literally had my blood sister, who I love to death, tell me that her pastor told her not to fuck with me because I'm going to hell because I'm a demon worshiper. When at the end of the day, I'm just paying respect to our people. It's simple. Like, you have all of the same things I have up, but what are you doing? You're not caught. Like, just because you go to church is what I'm doing is demonic. You got pictures of dead people all over your living room. You light candles for them. You got liquor out there. You got a whole fucking altar set up. But I'm the demonic one because I'm going against what not God say, but what you say.
Right. This thing ain't going against God at all.